and push yourself to a level that you can't push yourself no more. And if you still have some more energy, continue pushing yourself. Chances are you're going to grow in the process and you're never going to experience. Yes, this is Just Beast Fitness. I'm your trainer, Jasper Bravo. Today, I'm going to take you through the mistakes which are costing you your gains, and you're starting right now. So these are things that are mainly causing you to, instead of gaining, you're not gaining, you're losing instead. These are the things that, these are the myths you've been taught, and these are the mistakes I used to make when I was just starting to work out. And I noticed these things were either making me lose too much weight, or in the case when I wanted to lose weight, they did not help me lose weight. They made me gain instead. And the situations where I wanted to build muscles, they made me not gain as much muscles as I wanted. And we are starting right now by number one, which is superset in order for you to lose weight. We used to be taught, this is one of the most basic brosans, that you need for you to lose weight, you need to superset, or you need to reduce the rest periods between the sets, so that when you sweat so much and it's super fast, that is going to make you lose so much weight. And I can tell you that that is not true. For you to burn calories, you don't need, if you want to burn so much calories, that is, or if you want to do cardio, that is, don't go for weights. Just go and run, go and sprint, go and swim. Cardio is meant for cardio, but weightlifting is made for weightlifting. Why am I saying that? This is because as long as you're going to use so much time doing the supersets, what's going to happen is that, number one, you're not going to have what is called progressive overload. You're not going to overload your muscles fully, because when you have less resting period, you're not going to be able to lift as much weight as you could have. So it's going to make you not work out as much as you could have. You have lifted less weight, less reps, and yet that makes you having worked out less compared to somebody who just used enough time to rest, which is about I recommend 30 seconds to 1 minute for you to just rest fully and recover fully for the next set. Because if you're not fully recovered for the next set, it means that you're going to do the next set half-assed. And that takes me to mistake number two that used to cost me my gains, which is, this is another bro science, and it says that you work out thirsty for you to burn much more calories. This is something that is so laughable, and it's just something that I just want to ask you, that this one thing that is going to cost you your gains so much, because if you work out dehydrated, what's going to happen is that you're going to have less energy working out, so you're going to tire more, and when you're tired, it means you can't lift as much, you can't work out as much, whether it's running, whether it's rope jumping, whether it's weightlifting. You need to be well hydrated throughout the process so that you don't suffer from what is called dehydration. And when you are dehydrated, the amount of energy you're going to have throughout your workout is just going to be lessened. And mistake number three that is really costing you your gains is doing too much isolation movements. We used to be told that when we do isolation movements, those are the things that are going to make our muscles pop more. And especially when you're a beginner, I just want you to stay strong and stay consistent on doing those basic compound lifts. Why am I saying that? This is because when you do, okay, in short, the secret is always in the basics. If you want to build an awesome chest, just make sure that your bench press is just awesome. If you want to build an awesome arms, just make sure your curls are just beautiful. If you want to build an awesome back, just make sure that you are rowing well, you are deadlifting well. If you want to have awesome legs, just make sure you are squatting. As long as you concentrate on these basics, these other isolation movements are just going to be a plus to them. But when you prioritize so much the isolation movements, and since also progressive overload is not easy to gain with these isolation movements, you're just not going to gain as much muscles as much as you could have. And that is not, instead of you progressing at the rate that you could have wanted, you're going to progress at a slower rate, which is not beneficial to your growth. And this takes us to mistake number four, which you are probably making, which is doing 10 to 12 reps. I see people doing this all the time, that you are told that that is the sweet spot, that sweet spot for muscle growth is 10 to 12 reps. So I see people coming to the gym, and personally during these times, I always just had recorded in my mind that as long as I do anything 10 to 12 reps, I'm good to go. But now the problem with this is this. Number one, you find that when I go for these 10 to 12 reps, I just throw the weights and go really, really fast. And the problem with that is that I wouldn't have done enough workout in that set. There will be not enough time and attention, because There's nothing special between 10 to 12 reps. It's just that around these reps is enough. It means normally your muscles have experienced enough time and attention that is able to send enough signal for growth. But now a problem comes in when you do this, but you're doing it too quick. You do the 12 reps too quick. There's some people who just get to the gym, they just do 12 reps, and they're doing it too quick to a level that you don't even gain as much as you're supposed to, or you're not gaining anything because you're just swinging the weight around just to complete the 12 reps. Or I see somebody else coming and just, the weight, he can still go for more. Like he has so much left in the tank, but because he's reached 10 or 12 reps, he's putting the weight down, because now that, according to him, makes him think that he's done enough. But that is not enough if that's not the best that you can do. Number one thing, even before caring about the number of reps you're supposed to do in a set, I will advise you to do this. Make sure that the last set that you just did is just the best you could do. Without that, you're going to either cheat or you're going not to be able to push it anymore. Or if it was a bench press, maybe the weight was going to drop on you. Now that means you're pushing yourself. That means you're really growing, because you only grow when you continuously fail your body. When you push your body to a level where it feels that it's failing you. But when you're always you have put in your mind that always you have to go for 10 to 12 reps. The problem with that is that sometimes the weight will be too light for 10 to 12 reps. And sometimes also you'll go for a weight that is too heavy for 10 to 12 reps. So you're doing partial reps for you to get the 12 reps, and yet you don't engage the muscles as much as you're supposed to. So the best thing I ask you to do is, it's okay to do the 10 reps, it's okay to do 12 reps, it's okay to do 6 reps, as long as you're doing them well controlled with enough weight and you're pushing yourself on the last few reps. Then you're going to achieve whatever you want to achieve. And this takes me to problem number 5. I know you are enjoying this. If you're enjoying this, just like the video, share it with somebody who can like it, as I give you number 5 is a very common thing. We used to be told that we should avoid overtraining, that there's an amount of training that if you do, you'll be overtraining, and this is just going to make you not gain as much you're supposed to. My friend, if you're watching this video, chances are you're not overtraining. Chances are you are undertraining. Majority of people just undertrain. Majority of people don't overtrain. And why am I saying this? People don't push themselves as much as possible. If you are really pushing yourself as much as possible, and after some few days you notice that the energy level has gone down, you find that your grip has become weaker, the morale is down, that you come to the gym but you just can't push yourself anymore, and your recovery is wasted in that you can't recover. You notice that when you're coming to hit your chest, it's still paining. Then that's when you can say that you are overtraining. You need to back down, either fewer days of training, or you have a rest for some days, or you reduce the number of workouts, or you reduce the number of sets. Either of that is when you know that you're suffering from overtraining. But majority of people don't suffer from overtraining. In fact, we go to the gym, then we do a few sets, 4 sets of everything, then we go home thinking that we are fearing overtraining. What you're really fearing is training enough, because personally, I've never experienced overtraining, and whatever you can call overtraining to me might be undertraining to you, because also it depends on the experience that I've taken in the gym. If you have trained for a long time, your body has the capacity to hold so much workout without you experiencing that fatigue. So just go to the gym. Don't care about overtraining, I would advise, and push yourself to a level that you can't push yourself no more. And if you still have some more energy, continue pushing yourself. Chances are you're going to grow in the process, and you're never going to experience whatever is called overtraining. So there's nothing like overtraining. Just push yourself. But when you find yourself getting to a level that now the energy is low, maybe at that stage you can say that you are overtrained, which is very rare. So I think you need to worry about not undertraining rather than worrying about not overtraining, because I think majority and you are not overtraining. I've never overtrained, and I've never seen anybody overtrain. I hear it all the time. I've never experienced it. But if you find that your energy is low, maybe you just need a break for you to come back. But there's never anything like overtraining. Another thing you used to be told is that workout should never last for more than 40 minutes. That if it lasts for over 40 minutes, you are going to produce some acids which are going to burn your muscles, and this is going to make you start losing your gains. There's nothing like that, my friend. Personally, there's no time in my life I've ever trained for less than 40 minutes. It's always more than that. There's sometimes I used to train even for 4 hours. There are times when I was a student and I was in school, I used to even train for 5 hours. And those are the times that I was a beast, my friend. So when somebody tells you that you don't need to train for 2 hours, I don't know what they're talking about. Maybe that's what happens to you. And if it refers to you and it applies to you, well and good. But majority of people I've known usually train for 1 to 2 hours, and they have awesome physique. So if that is what training for over 1 hour is going to give me, I'm okay. I'll take it any day, anytime. But if somebody is telling you that you don't need to go for 40 minutes, chances are that if you really need to train all the body parts, and you need to train them at least 2 times in a week, and need to give them enough intensity for them to really take time to heal and recover, then 40 minutes really, I don't think it's going to be enough. And if in between the sets also you're giving yourself enough time for you to recover for the next set, if you're doing all these together and you really want to gain that muscle and gain that progress, it's going to be almost impossible to do this within 40 minutes. There are people who can do it who have that energy. That's well and good. I'm happy for you. As for me, it's never worked. I've never been able to train for 40 minutes and felt like I really did it enough. If you really want to do it for 40 minutes, it's okay. But 40 minutes training, chances are, is what is stopping you from gaining those muscles, or is what is stopping you from losing that pot belly that you want to stop because you want to go to run only for 40 minutes. I see people running for 3 hours. Personally, when I go for a jog, I can jog for 3 hours, and it's okay. I've never seen that cost me anything. And maybe that's what you need, because the amount of calories we consume every day will need a lot of workout and a lot of work for it to be burnt down back to whatever we want to achieve. And it's not going to be easy. So this is just the same as whatever we talked about the previous point about people thinking so much about overtraining. People are just being so lazy. You're thinking about overdoing it instead of thinking about, am I even underdoing it? Because most of the time, you're just underdoing it. That's why most people don't have the bodies and the achievements we want to achieve. In every sector, even in social life, then in our relationships, people are just, most of the time, are worried about overdoing it. Am I giving too much? Am I loving too much? And majority of people are just selfish. Majority of people are just not giving enough. So I think we are worrying about the wrong things. What we really need to worry about is, are we really giving enough? Because most of the time we don't give enough and we expect too much. Another thing that is costing you your gains is this myth that I had, that fasting is costing you hypertrophy, in that you can never grow muscles when you're fasting. My dear fellow, this is one of the biggest lies I've ever had. Like, I've seen many people, personally, I've intermittent fasted for more than a year, and that's one of the times that I gained most of muscles. And in fact, those are the times that my muscles were well seen, because now I was shedding that fat. So if you're avoiding intermittent fasting because you fear losing muscles, I hear girls who are saying that I don't want to fast because it's going to make me lose my S. What's going to happen is you're not only going to retain that S of yours, but you're going to retain a bigger pot belly and a bigger waist. But the secret is, the fasting might make you lose the fat around your waist and still remain with the muscles around your hips area. That is still very possible. Even for men, you still are able to gain your muscles as you fast within that time. Because what really happens is, the mechanism for fat loss and the mechanism for muscle building are so different. It doesn't just happen that when I fast, I'm losing weight. So when I'm losing weight, it means also I'm losing muscles. They don't work like that. You can lose weight and still gain muscles at the same time. So when you fast, especially when you're fasting, the first few hours of your fasting, you're going to tap to the fats rather than the muscles. It's the truth. I've seen that myth go around so much that you tap the muscles first. That's not what happens. You tap to the fat first, before you tap into the muscles. In fact, intermittent fasting maybe is what you need for you to gain more muscles, because these are two importance of the intermittent fasting. Number one, it's going to allow you to have more growth hormones, and growth hormones is what is responsible for more growth of muscles and also the burning of fats. Then number two, intermittent fasting is going to allow you to have less calorie in, calorie out. It means that you'll have more calorie out compared to calorie in, and that is also going to help you make that body show more. Because when you shed those fats, you're able to see those abs which have been hiding behind that layer of fats. Another thing that is costing you your gains is, this is one of the things that made me delay so much going to the gym, and that is, you need supplements for everything. I've seen people think that you need supplements to burn fats in your belly. You need supplements for you to gain muscles around certain areas. You need supplements for you to have energy even to work out. They've been told you need so much supplements for you to do almost everything. And these are the things that marketers use for you to think that you need to buy everything in this life. And what I always believe so much, and what is true, is that majority of the things that you want, the things that are really important to us, come free. Health come for free. Fitness come for free. You don't need a gym. You can just run. You can just walk. You can just cut down on the calories and the junk you're eating. It's all free. In fact, sometimes it's even cheaper because you'll eat less of the bad things which are very expensive. So, number one, health comes for free. You don't need supplements for you to start working out. You don't need supplements even for you to lose weight. You don't need supplements for you to gain muscles. You don't need all these things. You just need a good diet, you need a good workout, and you need consistency and determination. That's all you need for you to gain all those muscles. That's what you need. That's all what you need. That's all what you need. Okay, that's what you need for you to maintain that a consistent way of growth and a consistent way of losing those fats in those specific areas that you want to lose. So just like, subscribe, and let me see you in the next one. If you like, share this video.